Welcome back, friends. We are in the topic of antiphons. We looked briefly at the last episode with Isaiah and how, sacred scripture is always so refreshing. It's just always so refreshing. And we never know where, encountering Isaiah as a human being as opposed to just as a magnificent text source, or Proverbs as the garden section of life, right? And you can look on the seed packet and you can know if you do this, you reap that. Okay, so now let's take a look a little bit more. And I will be taking from some of the verses are going to come straight from the EO liturgy. So Ecclesiasticus, which is to be differentiated from Ecclesiastes.
Right.
Ecclesiastes, yes, as we know it. So I have a Dury Reims, and I was looking at that from the Latin Vulgate, which these ancient songs are based off of. So that's this push here. We would call the Book of Sirach. So if you want to look up Ecclesiasticus 24:5, look to the Book of Sirach, which is in, our modern Bible, and you're going to find it. This is what it says. O wisdom, O sapientia, a wisdom which camest out of the Most High, reaching from end to end and ordering all things mightily and sweetly, come and teach us the way of prudence. Ecclesiasticus 24:5. So you're going to, there's a Hebrew, it's not just Hebraic. The great rabbis use this, but really any good writer, you can take an idea from one place, one body of work, right? We do it with Shakespeare all the time.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Maybe from King Lear and Hamlet, or Hamlet and Macbeth.
Right.
And we put them together and we get a new understanding, a new thought.
Right.
Okay. Right. So that's kind of what's happening here. The composers of these antiphons are going to take an idea from one section of scripture and from another, and they combine it together. Jesus was the master at this. He did this all the time. What is the two great commandments, right? And he took from one, from the other, and he pulls it together.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so that's kind of what's going on here. So I came out of the mouth of the Most High, the firstborn among creatures. That's Ecclesiastes. That's Book of Sirach 24:5. Wisdom 8:1. She, wisdom, reaches therefore from end to end mightily and ordereth all things sweetly. And so we have Isaiah 11:23. And the Spirit of the Lord shall rest upon him, the Spirit of wisdom and of understanding, the spirit of counsel and of fortitude, the spirit of knowledge and of godliness. And he shall be filled with the spirit of the fear of the Lord. He shall not judge according to the sight of the eyes, nor reprove according to the hearing of the ears. We can go to December 18th. The verses the EO recommends Exodus 3:2 and Exodus 20 verse 1, and then Isaiah 11:4-5 and 33:32. O Adonai, and that is O Lord. That's one that LORD
right.
is all capitals. The Yahweh is
right.
All capitals. O Adonai, and leader of the house of Israel, who didst appear to Moses in the flame of the burning bush, and didst give unto him the law on Sinai, come and with an outstretched arm redeem us. So we see from Exodus 3:2. And the Lord appeared to him in a flame of fire out of the midst of a bush, and he saw that the bush was on fire and was not burnt. And then Exodus 20, and the Lord spoke all these words in the Decalogue. I am the Lord thy God. So here's that added, I am the Lord. I am the Lord thy God who brought thee out of the land of Egypt, out of the house of bondage. So we see Lord, he's Lord Master, his sovereignty, often used in place of Yahweh in sacred worship. So, turning to Isaiah 11:4, but he shall judge. So that's that ruling his sovereignty. He's judge. He's going to judge the poor with justice and shall reprove with equity for the meek of the earth. Land he shall strike the earth with the rod of his mouth. Rod, right, is a sign of ruling. And with the breath of his lips he shall slay the wicked. And justice shall be the girdle of his loins, and faith the girdle of his reins. Isaiah 33:22. For the Lord is our judge, the Lord is our lawgiver, the Lord is our king. He will save us.
Yeah. I'm reading through the ones that I wrote, so the translations that I've gotten must have come very close to from the Dewey Reams. That's going to be my guess, because I didn't make a mark as to where they came from.
I'm sure that's true.
Yeah, because they're very close.
December.
I was just going to say.
Go ahead.
Right, 19th. No. I was going to say, so December 19th. That's going to be the Roddick's Jesse, right?
That's right. Yeah. Isaiah. All right. It's Isaiah, but if you look at, the older form, it's Isaiah. So it's the same book. 11:10 and Isaiah 11:1. A root of Jesse, which standeth for an ensign of the people, before whom kings shall keep silence, whom the Gentiles shall be speech, come and deliver us and tarry not. So Isaiah 11:10. In that day the root of Jesse, who standeth for an ensign of the people, him the Gentiles shall beseech, and his sepulchre shall be glorious. Isaiah 11, and there shall come forth a rod out of the root of Jesse, and a flower shall rise up out of his root. December 20th, Isaiah 22:22, and the Apocalypse, Revelations 3:7, Luke 1. So I actually reproduced it. So you'll see a 1.79. That's Luke chapter 1, verse 79. In Isaiah 22:22, that nomenclature I'm using the more modern notation. So that's if people see decimal points and colons, that's why there's a little difference. Okay. O key of David and scepter of the house of Israel, that shuttest and no man openeth, come and bring the prisoner forth from the prison house, and him that sitteth in darkness and in the shadow of death. Isaiah 22. This should be very familiar to us as Catholics. And I will lay the key of the house of David upon his shoulder, and he shall open and none shall shut, and he shall shut and none shall open. Apocalypse, Revelation 3:7. And to the angel of the church of Philadelphia write, these things saith the Holy One and the True One, he that had the key of David, he that openeth and no man shutteth, shutteth and no man openeth. Luke 1:79. To enlighten them that sit in darkness and in the shadow of death, to direct our feet into the way of peace. In Isaiah 22:22, and I will lay the key of the house of David upon his shoulders, and he shall open and none shall shut, and he shall shut and none shall open.